For a long time, I believed love was something I had to hide. Not because I didn't feel it, but because the world had already decided who I was allowed to be. I learned early how to stay quiet, how to lower my voice, how to laugh at jokes that hurt, how to pretend I didn't understand questions that were really accusations. I became good at hiding, so good that even I forgot what I was hiding from. I didn't grow up dreaming about love. I grew up dreaming about safety. Safety meant silence. Safety meant blending in. Safety meant surviving. Love felt like a luxury meant for braver people. Then, one afternoon, on a day that wasn't special at all, I met him. His name was Ayan. It happened in a bookstore. I wasn't searching for anything meaningful, just a place to escape the noise of the world. He was standing near the poetry section, holding a book like it already knew his secrets. I noticed him before I wanted to. Something about the way he stood, comfortable, unguarded. That kind of ease always scared me. He looked up, smiled, and said, "Have you read this one?" I shook my head. That should have been the end. But instead, we talked about books, about stories, about characters who lived honestly in worlds that didn't always welcome them. He spoke openly. I listened carefully. When we said goodbye, I walked away feeling something unfamiliar. Not excitement, not fear, something quieter, like recognition. We met again a few days later, then again. Coffee turned into long walks. Long walks turned into conversations that lasted longer than they should have. He never rushed me, never asked questions that demanded answers. He let silence exist between us. And for someone like me, silence without judgment felt like kindness. Ayan was different, not loud, not reckless, just honest. He didn't announce who he was to the world, but he didn't deny himself either. When he spoke about his life, there was no apology in his voice. I envied that and feared it. As weeks passed, I felt something growing inside me, something warm, something dangerous. I tried to pull back. I always did. One night, sitting across from him in a quiet cafe, I finally said it. "I need you to know something," I told him. "I don't live freely." He looked at me, not surprised, just attentive. "I hide," I continued, "from people, from questions, from myself." I expected disappointment or distance. Instead, he smiled softly and said, "Then I'll walk at your pace." That sentence stayed with me, because no one had ever offered me patience before. They either demanded bravery or walked away. We didn't label anything. No promises, no expectations, just moments. Late-night phone calls, shared playlists, comfortable silence. Sometimes our shoulders touched, sometimes they didn't. And somehow, that was enough. I noticed the way he waited for me to speak first, waited for me to decide, waited for me to feel safe. He never reached for my hand. He let me choose. That terrified me more than pressure ever could, because choice meant responsibility, and responsibility meant truth. One evening, we sat by the river as the sky slowly changed colors. The city lights reflected on the water. My heart was loud. My thoughts were chaotic. I knew what I wanted. I just didn't know if I was allowed to want it. Without looking at him, I reached for his hand. My fingers were shaking. He didn't move away. He didn't tighten his grip. He simply held my hand like it had always belonged there. In that moment, something inside me shifted. Not all at once, just enough. Being with him didn't erase my fear. The world didn't suddenly become safe, but fear stopped controlling every decision. It became smaller, quieter. I started making small choices, telling the truth when it felt possible, admitting feelings when they felt heavy, not to the world, just to myself. There were hard days, days when I pulled away, days when old habits returned. Ion never punished me for that. He didn't romanticize my fear. He just stayed. One night, I asked him, "Why? Why are you so patient with me?" I said. He thought for a moment, then replied, "Because love isn't about pushing someone to become brave. It's about creating a space where they don't have to hide." I cried that night, not because of sadness, but because someone finally saw me without asking me to change first. People say love changes you. I don't believe that. Love doesn't change who you are. Love reveals who you've been protecting all along. I'm still not loud, still not fearless, still careful, but I'm honest now, with myself. And that honesty feels like freedom. The world hasn't softened, but I have. Today, when I think about love, I no longer imagine hiding. I imagine patience. I imagine hands waiting instead of pulling. I imagine someone choosing me even when I wasn't ready to choose myself. He didn't fall in love with my courage. He loved me when I had none. Some love stories aren't about fighting the world. They're about learning to stop running from yourself.